So let me ask you something. When life gets tough, what's your go-to move? Do you kind of put on armor and brace for impact? Or do you learn to dance with the wind? It's a really interesting question, and it's at the heart of what we're going to talk about. We're going to look at two completely different but really powerful ways to handle, well, everything life throws at us. Okay, to really get a feel for this, I want you to imagine something with me. Just picture this scene. It's a little bit out there, I'll admit, but it sets the stage perfectly. So you've got this guy, and his house is literally on fire. I mean, flames everywhere. His neighbors are running around, totally panicked, screaming, trying to save stuff, and he's just sitting there, calm. You have to ask, why? Well, it's because he's realized something profound. He can't control the fire. It's happening. But what he can control is his reaction to the fire. That's the only thing left in his power. And that's pretty powerful, right? This whole approach, this mindset, it actually has a name. What we're seeing here is something called the armor of endurance. Yeah, he's basically practicing a philosophy of mental strength, of fortification. It's like he's built this invisible armor around his mind, shielding him from all that chaos outside. And this philosophy? Well, it's called Stoicism. So what is Stoicism exactly? Well, it's the practice of controlling your internal reaction to external events you can't change. And let's be super clear, this isn't about being emotionless, like some kind of robot. Not at all. It's about mastering your inner world so that the outer world, no matter how crazy it gets, can't break you. You see the distinction? The fire is external. His peace, that's internal. At its core, Stoicism is really a philosophy of strength and control. It teaches us how to endure life's storms, right? I love this metaphor of wearing heavy armor against the chaos. It really paints a picture. The whole goal is to resist what you can't change, to build this internal fortress and just stand firm. And that armor, it absolutely protects you, for sure. But, it's also heavy, it's rigid, it's designed to hold its ground. And you can totally see how useful this is, right? I mean, let's be real. The stress of constant deadlines, the anxiety of always chasing more, that's modern life for a lot of us. Stoicism is the armor for that. It gives you a tool to withstand all that pressure without cracking. But armor's heavy. And that brings up a really interesting question. The question of the fire. Okay, let's go back to our guy in the burning house for a second. The Stoic response is to endure, right? To use that internal strength. But what if there's another way to look at this whole situation? Yeah. What if the fire didn't need to be fought or even endured? This question right here, this is the pivot point. The Stoic endures. But what if resistance isn't the only option? What if there's another way to find peace in the middle of the flames? This question opens the door to a totally different kind of thinking. So instead of the armor of endurance, we have the dance of the wind. Instead of thinking about heavy armor, I want you to imagine something completely different. A weightless dance. Instead of a rigid fortress, picture a flowing river, just effortlessly moving around rocks and obstacles. This is the heart of another equally powerful philosophy, Taoism. Taoism is the practice of letting go of control and aligning with the natural flow and rhythm of life. I mean, the contrast here couldn't be more stark, right? Where Stoicism is all about gaining internal control, Taoism is about letting go of the need for control entirely. It's not about fighting the current, it's about learning how to move with it. So you see, this is a philosophy of flow and harmony. It suggests that instead of bracing against life's storms, you move with them. The perfect image for this is a tree bending in the wind. It doesn't break because it's flexible. The whole goal here is to stop fighting life's currents. Taoism basically says, hey, maybe a lot of our suffering comes from trying to force things, from fighting the way things naturally are. All right, so this brings us to the big question, armor or dance? We've got these two really powerful but very different paths. On one hand, you have the strong, unbreachable armor of the Stoic, finding peace through internal control. And on the other, you have the fluid, weightless dance of the Taoist, who finds peace by letting go. Let's just break this down side by side. When it comes to your response to chaos, the Stoic armor says, resist and endure. But the Taoist stance says, align and flow. And where does peace come from? For the Stoic, it's all about internal control. For the Taoist, it's about letting go. It really is the perfect metaphor, isn't it? Heavy armor versus a weightless dance. So maybe the real question isn't whether one is better than the other. This isn't some kind of philosophical cage match. It's not about which one wins. Because maybe some situations in your life do require that armor. Times when you need to stand firm. But maybe other situations, they call for a dance. They call for you to let go and just flow with it. It's about knowing you have different tools, different mindsets you can use. And that leads us to the final, and I think most important question of all. In your own life right now, are you only learning how to endure the fire? Or are you ready to learn how to flow with it? I want you to think about that, really. Think about the challenges you're facing, the pressures, the uncertainties, all of it. What's your first instinct? Is it to build a wall, put on that armor and brace for impact? Or is there a part of you that's curious what might happen if you just stopped pushing back so hard? And instead, you just learned the steps to the dance. That's the thought I want to leave you with.